Fox News, I always stop there, and Florida Governor DeSantis declare war to punish Disney over opposition to Don't Say Gay. Watch this.
Disney continues to dig itself in a giant mouse hole on this issue by advocating for sexual lesson plans for 5 to 7-year-olds. So a boycott Disney movement has begun apparently across America. And now Governor DeSantis is considering eliminating the special status that Disney receives from the state.
There are certain entities that have exerted a lot of influence through corporate means to generate special privileges in the law. I don't think we should have special privileges in the law at all. They've got so far over their skis on this parental rights stuff because I think they're used to having their way, and they're not used to having people that will stand in their way and say, actually, the state of Florida is going to be governed by the best interests of the people in Florida. You know, we're certainly not going to bend a knee to woke executives in California.
Well, Friday night on Fox News, 3 hours, starting with Tucker, then to Sean, and then what you saw on Laura on this story. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has decided to take on Walt Disney World in a war that could ruin him or possibly destroy the largest international tourist destination in the world. In 1967, the state of Florida passed the Reedy Creek Improvement Act that created a new government for Disney and allowed Walt and his crews to develop their plans for Disney World without needing to get zoning or construction permits from the state or the county. This was meant to help with things like EPCOT, that was originally meant to be a housing community. Now DeSantis is looking to revoke the act as punishment for Disney becoming a woke corporation. Those are his words, and speaking out against the Don't Say Gay bill. How this will affect the $75.2 billion economic impact on Central Florida, the 463,000 jobs, and the $5.8 billion in state tax revenue remains to be seen.
I have to say, I don't understand him, because you'd think with all of that income on the table that he's going to be this horrible to the company. And as also for being the love child of Ursula the Sea Witch and Jafar, you'd think he'd be nicer to Disney.
So this Reedy Act, is that kind of like the reservations, like the Indian reservations, where they're able to have like their own city, their own kind of...
When you go to Walt Disney World,
I've been arrested there. I got put in the little thingy.
Oh, okay.
Or what?
That operates as
detained. It's called detained.
It's detained. Mm-hmm. It operates in its own environment at Walt Disney World. So you'll see Reedy Creek for the fire department and police, and it does many things. It allows Walt Disney World and the Disney Corporation to speed through the process of preventing the very great time lags that would happen. If they were here in Broward County, the time to develop would probably quadruple in time. So it was designed to attract Disney in '67, Walt Disney specifically, and designed to speed the process of their development, because the assumption was, in goodwill by Florida politicians and the citizens of Florida, that Disney's growth would be good for Disney. And of course,
it was
50 years,
yeah.
It has,
right.
Until you speak against
That's right.
a governor of Florida. And
this is interesting. This is an interesting move. Because it brings, well, the cultural battle basically moves, the epicenter is now in the state of Florida because of Ron DeSantis, but he's taking on a big guy here, the Disney Corporation. So Disney, that has also, tried to keep, the Republicans happy, also donated money in the past to the Republican legislator in the state of Florida. But this is the time when you gotta put the money where your mouth is. And they're going to have to come out and declare war on this guy.
Governor DeSantis has doubled down here. Basically, that's what happened in this last week. Fox News has joined the front to double down with the governor. Why is he doing this? Why is the governor doubling down?
Because the election's this year.
And because he can.
And because he thinks he's going to be
president. Because later this year, he's going to be up for re-election. So what is that? Basically, no news is good
good
news.
news.
So in his case, he wants to bring attention to him,
And
and,
this is
mostly from the right.
No, and this is an incredible way to draw attention to you. You're trying to take out the biggest organization in Florida that employs the most LGBTQ people, employs the most people, period, in Florida. They do get a lot of tax breaks, but they deserve all those tax breaks.
Exactly right.
Yeah. That's the reason why we don't have state income tax, right? I mean, is because of Disney and the parks. But I don't think this is such a big deal. I think it's going to blow up in DeSantis' face.
Why do you think?
You think?
Just because you can't beat Disney.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think you can. And Disney's gonna make one announcement that says, oh, P.S., instead of bringing your state another 10 million jobs with this project, we're actually going to take it to California, or we're going to take it to someplace else.
And they can totally do that.
And they can
You're
totally do
absolutely
that.
right.
Yes.
They've got the money behind them to do so. And then how is Florida left? We all got to leave Florida.
I want to focus on one. The Disney story is incredible.
It
really is incredible. They made a big mistake in not saying anything at first.
They tried.
Then they apologized. Then they made a positive statement. Then they came in farther. Then they stood up, and then they said, after it was passed, we're going to work to get it repealed or have it defeated in the courts. And all hell broke loose. But one of the things I'm curious about is Disney is under full attack. You know, the enemy of our enemy becomes your friend. The governor is now the enemy of Disney, and Fox News is now the enemy of Disney. So almost without exception, that means Disney is now your friend. Regardless of your position, they're now your friend. What about the LGBTQ community that is still clamoring on boycott, boycott, boycott? Will this create any changes in LGBT on their thinking about Disney?
That's, I thought about that and how the right and all their families that go to Disney, how are they going to follow through with that? They're going to probably support, the boycott. So, and that's money for Disney. So, yes, I'm all for, taking our side, but they have their way too,
And specifically, is LGBT going to forgive the process because Disney, at the end of the day, even if it was late, they came to the door?
I sure hope so, Al, because just like Disney's being attacked by DeSantis, we're constantly attacked by DeSantis, So instead of bickering towards Disney, we should be unifying with them and saying, okay, we're going to stop boycotting you and protesting. Let's do something about this horrible man that is governing our state.
It's interesting to me. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, all Disney has to do is just show us what they've done. Give them another 6 months and they can say, okay, well, look, here's what we've done, X, Y, and Z, and we'll be right back at Disney World.
They gave $5 million, correct? They offered $5 million and HRC took it.
Yeah. I haven't heard that answer.
But where is their money? Are they giving now, Disney, giving money now to the Democrats that are running for re-election?
They're not giving it to anybody.
They're not giving any money at all. But I think the most important issue with Disney is their statement last week. We covered it Wednesday in our special on Wednesday with all of the major political voices in Florida that fought Don't Say Gay. Disney basically made it absolutely clear. The reason this has happened with Fox and DeSantis is on Wednesday they said, we stand with our LGBT employees. We stand for the LGBTQ organizations in the state of Florida that are fighting this, and we won't be satisfied until we reverse Don't Say Gay or we see it defeated in the courts. There was no ambiguity. It was complete support of LGBT in Florida.
And that's it. So we wait and see. So we wait and see.
Right. All right.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ+